Wiz'n'liz. When people talk about the hidden gems of gaming, this one always pops up in my head. Not many people know about this game, but the few that do know that it's great. Wiz'n'liz holds a special place in my heart. I frequently played it with my friends back in elementary school. It was a game for the Sega Genesis, and in my opinion, one of the most notable games on the system. Developed by Raising Hell Software, or today known as Bizarre Creations, you can see the intense arcade influences. Bizarre Creations is known mostly for creating the popular arcade game Geometry Wars. So as you can imagine, Wiz'n'liz shares some of that arcade spirit. This game's art style combined with its rewarding gameplay and lack of recognition blows my mind. The game takes place in the magical world of Pump. I know, pretty badass. And in the intro you can see that all your wabbits have been stolen or gone missing. It's up to Wizzy and Lizzy to venture out and rescue them. And yes, I know how silly this all sounds, but the cutesy world and absurdities never stop. The fruit that you collect all have smiles, the enchantments that you gather are all gibberish, the spells that you create are nonsensical. This game doesn't take itself seriously, and that's great. I've been playing this game periodically for the past 2 decades, and no, it's not one of those games that you can play for 6 hours straight, but it is something that you can pick up and play for an hour and love every second of it. The replay value comes from its arcade roots. All you're trying to do is rack up those points and beat out your competitors. And if you have no friends to play with you, you can just enter in fake names and pretend to beat your imaginary friends. The game's pacing is fast, challenging, and demanding. As you load up the game, you'll notice that you have various skill levels: Apprentice, Wizard, and Sorcerer. And even further, you can choose among different difficulties. The various levels have different bosses and give you greater rewards as you progress. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, this game is hard as hell. If you bump up the difficulty to taxing on any level, you will be feeling the pressure. In any of the modes, you'll start out in your homeworld. The atmosphere certainly feels like home with the upbeat music. The night sky never changes, even within the various worlds of the game. It's a beautiful aesthetic that I've always liked. That damn moon rivals that of Zelda's moon with its creepy vibes. It'll yawn and fall asleep, or laugh and stare into your soul with its vicious eyes. I mostly ignored it as a kid. But despite this game's cutesy vibes, there are definitely some strange and bizarre moments. Within this hub of yours, you're immediately given instructions to mix those fruit. Upon mixing the present strawberry and apple together in your cauldron, a door will appear. And as you enter it, more doors are available to enter, each describing its setting. Grassland, snowland, deadland, woodland, you name it. It definitely had a really cool vibe back in the day. Even though the game is actually small, it feels so big through its content. The stages evolve as you progress through the game, as you will have to return to each world more than once on most difficulties. The worlds are colorful, odd, and yet so captivating. The game feels as good as it looks. I do admit that it's hard to take in anything when you're frantically running around, but it feels so fun being in these worlds. The songs that accompany each world makes everything feel so complete. Snowland's music is easily my favorite. Once you've made your decision and enter one of the worlds, you'll be dropped into a chaotic scramble of rabbits running around. It's your job to retrieve them. As you catch each rabbit, a letter, star, or clock will appear. The letters that you collect will complete a spell to open the door to escape once you've rescued all the rabbits. The stars are used for buying fruit, and the clocks give you more time to complete each round. Yes, this game has a timer, and not a very large one at that. If you take your time collecting every single floating object that appears, you will definitely be losing lives quickly. The most crucial and important part of each round is collecting fruit. Upon spelling out your incantation, you are now allowed to start collecting fruit in order to fill up its meter. Once it's filled, you'll receive that fruit back in your homeworld hub. This is where the game really matters. You have an opportunity to collect 2 to 3 fruit per world, and as experienced before, mixing 2 fruit together creates a spell. There are many different fruits in this game, and vegetables I guess, so there are a lot of possibilities. Some spells range from merely changing the rabbit's color, to opening up a fruit shop, to tons of mini games, randomizing your current fruit, doubling your points, and even absolutely nothing. It is really fun to explore the possibilities and discover new spells. Most of them will somehow aid you in keeping your timer nice and healthy. After completing 9 worlds, you'll be introduced to a boss. That boss that you fight depends on what difficulty mode you're in. Apprentice has you fighting the Freaky Flower, while Wizard has you fighting Snake Eyes and the Creepy Clock, and Sorcerer mode has you fighting the Savage Pumpkin, the Evil Oak, and the Deadly Dragon. Yeah, it's a bit of a diversion from the normal gameplay, but it's definitely refreshing in a way. The boss music is also well crafted and intense. Some of the boss fights are insanely difficult. It makes you wonder how any of us played video games back then. And yes, for those of you who've played this game before, there is an extra secret difficulty, and I might be trying it out in a playthrough for you all. As long as you start out on Apprentice mode, you'll get a good feel for how the game plays. It can be extremely challenging and hard to adjust to the fast pacing of this game. Its speed is on par with Sonic the Hedgehog. Not only that, Apprentice mode eases you into the actual collection process. Spells first, rabbits and fruit second, exit third. After you complete each mode, you'll get a nifty little congratulations. I have to admit that this game is well polished for its time. It has a lot of depth and content to offer, and yeah, it's a very short arcade game, but it does what it intends to do very well. As a result, the replay value is fast. I really don't like how you actually have to find the recipe for the fruit shop. It's really imperative that you get this in order to beat Wizard and Sorcerer mode. Yeah, it's a little bit easy to figure out, and they often give you the fruit combo early in the first or second world. But if you were a new player to this game, you might end up putting it down rather quickly thinking what in the living hell stars are for. Considering that they give you stars to spend in the store, why not just put the store in the hub world immediately? I wish there was a way for you to unlock or record combinations in this game, but I guess the old-fashioned pen and paper will get the job done. Lastly, I'm not the biggest fan of the dying rabbits on each stage. A familiar floats around you, guiding you to them, and if you don't retrieve them, your spell blows up, and then you have to collect all your letters again. It's a wonder how this game flew under the radar for so many. Maybe it was the absurd title of the game? It is a bit strange, yet so adorable. Yes, this game is really only about saving rabbits and collecting fruit, but it's more the execution and design that makes this game amazing. Yes, there's a bit of raw nostalgia going for this game in my mind, but I truly believe that this game was special. In the rough, gritty 90s gaming world of platformers and RPGs, Wiz'n'liz wasn't afraid to try something a little different. All the Sega Mega collections and top 10 Sega videos need to start including this game on their list. It's a hidden gem of gaming, and I'm glad it was part of my childhood. I give this game a 7.5 out of 10. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons and go check out some of our previous retro reviews. Since I've arrived in Japan, I've been hunting for some good retro games to review lately. So if you have any suggestions, hit up that comment section down below. Jeff and I have a lot more content coming your way, so until next time, thanks for watching.